And oftentimes in discussion, I usually get this really bad objection from atheists who say, there is no scientific evidence for God's existence, so I can't believe in him, I have to be an atheist. There is so much ridiculousness with this type of objection. First of all, this is a view of knowledge known as Scientism, which is a view that the only way to truth is through science, and that everything outside of the realm of science is somehow just a subjective opinion or speculation or someone's belief. Some people even go as far as to say there are no truths apart from scientific truths. Well, the problem with an objection like this is that, first of all, the question of God's existence is a philosophical question, not a scientific one. Now, you might think, well, Eric, I don't need philosophy, I have science. Well, first of all, the problem with this kind of view is that it's self-defeating. What is self-defeating? Self-defeating is something like this. I've had atheists say, Eric, there is no truth. To which I ask, is that true? Because if what you just said is true and you just told me there's no truth and you just refuted yourself, it's self-defeating. So when someone says, I have science, I don't need philosophy, do you realize you are making a philosophical statement about the nature of science, and that is not a scientific statement? So by your own standard, you just proved yourself wrong. Congratulations. Secondly, there are a lot of things we have to assume to be true before we can even do science. The existence of truth itself is a fine example. You cannot scientifically prove that truth exists. You have to assume truth exists to even get started and do science in the first place. What experiment would you do? Would you weigh truth? Would you measure it? Would you put it in a burner? Does it burn true or false? And to even do this experiment, are you not already assuming that your conclusion is going to be true or false, which is the very thing that you're trying to prove? Now let me clarify, because I can guarantee you in the comment section, someone's going to say, here's another Christian who doesn't understand science. No, I'm sorry, you don't understand what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that science is not advanced enough to answer the question of God's existence. I am literally saying it is metaphysically impossible to answer this question, any more like asking how many pounds does the color blue weigh? These are category fallacies. It's like saying, because a ruler can't measure my weight, I therefore have no weight. That is the equivalent of claiming that because there's no scientific proof for God's existence, then he doesn't exist. This is a ridiculous, absurd objection that no one should use. To quote an atheist philosopher, Michael Roos, he says, science cannot give us certain answers because it cannot ask certain questions. So if you're going to be an atheist, you have got to stop using these bad, asinine objections and stop using science as an excuse for your ignorance just because you cannot come up with a good rebuttal. Start being rational. You're better than that. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think below. Like, comment, share, and let's get this video out there so we can expose these bad, foolish, atheistic arguments that try to pose as actual good objections to God's existence. Thank you.